Hi, folks. We have the full moon in the sign of Leo coming up, and we need to get ready for this one. It's on February 12th. It is at the 24th degree of Leo. This full moon it's powerful. Aren't they all powerful? But when the moon's in a fire sign and it's a full moon, it really is here to inspire us. So we can, get out of our head, sun in Aquarius, step into our hearts, that Leo energy. And we do that by being curious and by embracing creativity and passion. And hey, for some of us and some people, even a bit of drama. We also have, oh, my New England accent just kicked in. We also have Uranus stirring the pot because it is at a 90-degree angle to the sun and moon. I'll show you that chart in just a sec. So that's where the curiosity comes in, but also where it just stir up some surprises. So we're going to break this all down and we're going to talk about what that looks like right now. So let me share the chart with you. And I really made it super. I simplified it a lot here so you can see that it is. Come on, Zoom, share. It hasn't shared yet. There it is. Okay. And this is what it looks like. Full moon in Leo, sun in Aquarius. Mercury is hanging out right there with the sun. And you'll make it adds to the analytical piece of what this full moon is about. Because when we have the full moon in Leo, we have to look at both ends of this. And the first piece, the sun, where the sun is shining and Mercury is engaged here too. It's about being in our heads too much and thinking things through. And there's nothing wrong with planning and organizing and sticking to a plan and really working hard with that. But we also can get stuck sometimes, and a lot of times, honestly. And when we have the full moon, as we do here on the 12th, it's asking us to maybe move away from that. Not maybe, but it really is asking us to move away from that overanalyzing piece of the brain and what's going on there and bringing it into the heart, looking at what it is that inspires us, stirring up passion again, stirring up creativity again, stirring up things. It's like, what am I ready to fight for or to really put some passion behind, right? While we're having this full moon, of course, Mars is still retrograde in the sign of Cancer, and that in and of itself has been really helping people to discover what they're upset about, what they're angry about, because Mars wants to take action, but when it's retrograde, it's internalized, and being in the zodiac sign that it's in, Cancer, it's internalized feelings, and since it's been like this for weeks and weeks now. I'm going to do a separate video on that. I've already done a separate video on Mars retrograde, so I'll attach it to this when it's on YouTube. Patreon, you all get it first. I want us to remember that there is a lot of other components playing. I am right now just really honing in on the full moon, where the sun and Mercury are, where the moon is, and where Uranus is. That's what this whole forecast is about. But I want that understanding that Mars in Cancer retrograde and how many people are angry, and a lot of anger is coming to the surface around many different things. There's a lot of things that are really triggering people these days. I'm very aware of that. I find it hard actually to do these forecasts in a sense where I have to put how I feel about what's going on in the world aside, as it's very impactful for a lot of people. And because I know what I want to do with the platform I have here is to give us focus and things that we know we can work on and desire and help to keep us uplifted while we still have a lot of difficult things to go through. So I'm not unaware of what's going on in the world. Um, you guys know that. You know me, I'm a Gemini. I watch lots of news of my choosing. So back to this, when we have this full moon, it just gives us that insight into it's calling us to step away from the overthinking piece. Sometimes it's just too much. and it's calling us to step into our creativity and what we're passionate about. Those are really important things that we want to explore. Really let that inner child out. Leo rules children, and the desires of children, and the desires that we're passionate about as well. And so tap into that a little bit here. It's time to do that work, time to hang out with your inner child or children that are around you, to see how innocent and sweet they are, and to tap into that high heart energy. Okay. And that Aquarius vibe of where the sun and Mercury is can be overly analytic, which is fine, but this full moon is making us completely and totally aware, and it's telling us that less thinking, more feeling. Let's get into the heart. Okay. Now, with that being said, we also have Uranus. As you can see right here, it makes this half of a square. And what that's a square in each way. It's called a fixed T square. If you have anything over here, or this might not be set up like your chart is, but if you have anything around 23, 24 Scorpio, then these 3 points of this fixed T square is going to make a grand cross, it's called. And you're going to have a very busy time shifting and getting out of a rut. If you want help with that, you come have a session with me. I'll help you out with that. But in the meantime, while this full moon is making us completely and totally aware of what is important and what we should be focusing on as far as expressing our love, our passions, our creativity, playing, stepping into things that are curious, this square from Uranus is quite unique in a sense, where what it wants us to do as well is like, it's going to help us, it's going to throw some a little monkey wrench in here and there to give us these unexpected shifts. So it wants us, it's like, aren't we doing that every day? I can just hear people's voices in my head. It's like something we're doing every day. There's always a plot twist. Every time we think something's going on, there's a plot twist. This is why we're feeling the energies that we're feeling. Because as I post this, 7 to 10 days before the full moon is actually here, a lot of these things are in play already. And so we're feeling it. We're feeling the pot being stirred no matter what. We're feeling that every time we turn around, there's another plot twist going on. And so with that being said, I think it's just really important for us to stay as flexible as we can. Now, that's kind of hard because Aquarius and Leo, the full moon, and Uranus is in Taurus. All 3 of those signs are fixed signs, and the Scorpio empty spot in the chart here is also fixed. So the fixed signs mean that we're really stuck. But that Uranus and Taurus is still, it's moving direct now. It's barely moving. It hasn't even moved a degree yet since it's turned direct this last week. It gives us, we're just getting ready, and there's going to be a lot more things coming at us faster and faster and faster. So what's the secret sauce? The secret sauce here is to stay flexible, be open to curiosity, be open to surprises, just be open. Uranus is here to stir that up, to stir the pot. It's meant to give us, it's meant to push us off our base. It's meant to push us off kilter a little bit, so we can be open for different opportunities, because sometimes we just get stuck in our rut. Sometimes things are just too uncomfortable. And if we're just, when we don't, it doesn't create strength when we just stay in one place stuck. I'm having this vision in my head. I remember when I was doing some physical therapy one time. I have a really bad lower back. And I was doing some physical therapy, and you can do the just on your hands and knees, right? With the physical therapist on the bench. And you put one arm up and one leg up. So you're just on the opposite arm and leg is all that's holding you. And you can do that. That's easy enough. But then the therapist comes in and starts pushing. So you have to engage your core, right? So you stay up. And it's kind of like that. I feel like, like the physical therapist giving me a little poke when I felt like I was nice and stable and I wasn't. And then I regained my core to stay balanced. And so that's what this feels like to me. It just, I know I like metaphors. It just feels like, you know, if we're stuck in a way of things doing what we're doing, if we're stuck in a certain process of doing things, we have to have something to knock us off balance a little bit. I think we're on overload on this right now, though, here in this country. But we need something to knock us off our balance a little bit so we can find our center again and reevaluate what that is that we love, what we think is important, what we're curious about, what we're passionate about. These are the things that we need to be doing for ourselves throughout this month of February, honestly. And this full moon is just a key component of what's going on with that. So that's what I see with all of this. And it is just, it can be stressful. I'm going to stop my share. It can be lovely because it can give us new opportunities to explore and to find new strengths within ourselves and then discover new passions. And again, the curiosity, I think, is the big thing. Uranus is the ruler of that activity, curiosity. And so I want you to maybe use that as one of you as a word just to say, well, what am I curious about? What new can I discover? And or what new do I need to learn about myself in regard to whatever is going on in your life? Because we can see what's going on outside, but how is that impacting you? What's going on in your own world? So it's really important. So kind of like recap this full moon on the 12th of February, it's inviting us to sort of step away from over analyzing mode and into the phase of getting out of stuck in our heads and into an area of um, creativity and passion and play. Again, it's heart centered. It's based off of being creative. It's based off of children, if you have children in your lives, and encourages self-expression through the arts, through performing, through playing. Leo's very dynamic and loves that theater type thing. So showing up where you want to show up, and that is absolutely that's exciting, and it is a lot of fun. So I want you to do that. And it's really easy because when we have a full moon, we're always able to see everything because we're on one side and the full moon reflects right back to us what we're not able to see within ourselves. It's like trying to put your makeup on without a mirror, you know, or whatever. Shave without a mirror. Guys, you guys, 98% of my people who watch this are females. So we'll say the makeup thing. And so, but I know guys who wear makeup too. So I guess that was really generic. Back to this. So focus on that for yourself. Now, another thing that I love working with, and I'm going to have this written out on my website. So make sure that you are on my email list and I will send it. I send email about twice a month. So you know when the blog is posted. It's about 15, yeah, it's about 1,200 words. It's an easy read. And the lunar gestation cycle is something that I love talking about too. And I do this a lot for you guys here on Patreon. By the time YouTube gets this far, they're not listening anymore. Everybody taps out. Most everybody taps out after about 3 minutes. The lunar gestation cycle that is connected to this one is 18 started 18 months ago. And that is, I'm going to grab my notes, the new moon in Leo on August 16th, 2023. So every lunar event is not a standalone event, which is why I love using the lunar gestation cycle. It is 3 years long. A lot of people call it 27 months, but it takes an additional 9 months to complete. So it's a full 3 years. So I want you to think back to August 16, 2023. And we had a new moon in the very same area as we have the full moon that we're talking about in this forecast. So back then in the late summer, August 2023, what was going on then? What new moon things did you plant, right? In the sign of Leo, based off of your creativity, your self-expression, children, all of those things we've just been talking about. So you may have started a project or made some intentions back then, go back and look, see what it was. And if you didn't do any new moon journaling back then, just at least look at what was going on in your life and what was started and initiated. Okay. I love August. It's so nice and hot. I love it. Anyways, what did you start back then? That was 18 months ago, was what that was. 9 months after that was the first quarter moon in Leo, May 15th, 2024. And at that point, whatever you planted in August of 2023 would have started to sprout now. Things would have started to grow, so you can take action on them. Maybe there was a little challenge. That usually happens when we have squares. So this challenge would help you to make choices and decisions, to push through something that wasn't working hard, and to adjust your approach to what was working. The momentum was building to bring us to where we are today at this full moon in the sign of Leo. So the new moon, we planted something fresh and new, or initiated something new. The first quarter, 9 months after the new moon, which was May 2024, that's when we would just sort of sift and sort, take action, work on what was working, continue to build. Things weren't working. We either push through it or we let them go. 9 months after that is where we are today, February 12th, 2025, full moon in Leo. That's the culmination of everything that we started 18 months ago. Gives us that clarity that we need. It's a turning point. So whatever we've been working on that's creative, or what we're passionate about, what we desire, activities or projects with children or creative projects, all of that's come to a head now. So you're able to take it in the direction that you want. Hopefully get some recognition for what you're doing. Leo loves to get recognition for what it does. Look at my Leo friends. They are always posting, look at what I created, look at what I did, see how beautiful this is, because that's their job. They need to do things to get the recognition, and that's what Leo is all about. There's no shade here. This is just what Leo is about. Loves to get the recognition for what it's doing right, or what it's just doing. So that is what I would do as far as, and then 9 months later, we have another one, and I've got that written out, so you can go read that on the website if you'd like. And so where do we end? So you get ready, as you see this way ahead of time, especially y'all on Patreon, and start focusing on where you're stuck, what you think you're stuck on, bringing your energy towards things that you're passionate about. Sit down. It's like, I'm curious about, and do something. Be open for your physical therapist to come in and try to knock you off balance. That means be open for some unexpected events and occurrences that give us opportunities that we don't know about that yet, or that we don't know we need. Okay? That's the whole concept behind this full moon, with Uranus at the bendings, at the halfway point between the sun and the moon. It's amazing. So lots of information. Mercury and the sun in Aquarius, square Uranus, gives us lots of information, new ideas, new processes. Same thing when it comes to our emotions and the things that we're passionate about. Okay. I have repeated myself 3 times in a few different ways. I hope that is helpful for you. Thank you for being here. Blessings, everybody. Namaste.